for the 6x6 because I know we played our hearts out, everyone. And what's most important for me is that my family and friends and other spectators during that event was able to see how our game is being played. The underwater hockey is a non-spectator sport, so this time we were able to get good media coverage by having underwater cameras all throughout the
Fantastic.
event.
Yeah.
Yes, so we hear people cheering, the crowd. It boosts up our morale and it made us more Filipinos underwater.
Fantastic. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much. Congratulations.
Hi, I am Joanna Joey Uy. I represent the women's underwater hockey team. I won two silver medals for the SEA Games. Um, like Top said, underwater hockey is not well known in the Philippines. So for years, we've been traveling and training together in different countries to hone our skills because to be better, you have to train with other people. So one of my favorite things in this SEA Games is walking to that Philippine arena. Being together with all of the Filipino athletes made us feel that we are Team Philippines.
Yeah.
And it feels so good to see all the people cheering us on as we are fueled by that support. Beyond that, these SEA Games, it's like family to me.
Yeah.
My sister is also one of the teammates. She also won two silver medalists. And my other sister volunteered for the PHISGOC.
That's fantastic.
So with that, I would like to also say that for me, We Win as One is to all the volunteers, the people behind the camera, the people behind all the logistics that made this event such a spectacular, flawless one. It's a Filipino thing that to tulong-tulungan.
Yes.
So this event is made possible by all the athletes, all the volunteers, and everyone behind it. So that for me is how we win as one.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much and congratulations also to your sister. Last but definitely not the least. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hi everyone, by the way, I'm Samuel Butch Morrison from Olongapo, three-time SEA Games gold medalist. And my most favorite part ng SEA Games po is yung na-reach namin yung goal and nalagpasan pa. And the second one is yung na-witness ko kung yung first medal ng Timor-Leste. Then doon ko nakita yung pagkakaisa ng mga Filipino na parang we win as one talaga.
That's fantastic. It's not just about us, but also our brothers and sisters across the region. Congratulations to everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all please give them a warm round of applause. Such fantastic and inspiring stories. So at this point, we would like to open the floor for any questions that you may have for our fantastic champs over here. We have a few minutes for our question and answer portion. We would like to just ask you to please introduce yourself. Let us know from what media publication you are from, and then direct your question already. Go ahead, sir. Yes po.
My name is Lito Cinco. I write for Manila Standard and Inquirer Bandera. I've been writing sports for the last 40 years. I've seen Kim Mang Robang when she was 14 years old and this small. Nico was, first time I met him, the first thing he tells me, I want to be a national team member. And he was a nobody at that time. Sa Ultra yan. Okay? That's when we met. Anyway, this was an unexpected victory, and again, I share the victory. I am part of the world of sports, but my concern is, I've seen it happen in the past. We won 2005, 1980, 1991. We won overall, but afterwards, we go down. Okay, that's a fact. If we review the records, we come from a high, and then the 2 years after, we're down. Of course, we cannot duplicate the home crowd. We cannot duplicate the number of athletes that we can send because of the limitations. The question for me now is, and I'd like to hear the athletes answer this, how do we sustain the gains made for 2019 and carry it over to 2021. It's going to be difficult, but I'd like to hear from the athletes themselves and maybe from Cynthia as a sports official. I know it's going to be a tough job, okay, but let's hear some ideas from the athlete.
I just wanted to start. It's different now. The way our facilities are nice. They saw the government. They saw that everybody's giving their thing, that they built wonderful facilities for our athletes. They're bringing them abroad, and they have realized what the organization PHISGOC, Philippines, the SEA Games organization, what they went through to make sure that everything goes perfectly well. So I know, I have spoken to the athletes just now. I hope we will not go down. No, they're all motivated. They're all going to continue the fight. I know, you can ask them.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Any of our athletes may answer. You have go ahead, Joey. I think Joey can answer first. Go ahead, Joey.
Hi, because for underwater hockey, we've always found a way to support ourselves. And this year, we are really so happy to have PSC behind us. The struggle for us has always been looking for pools, because a lot of the pools are changed into liners. So I think continued support from the government, which we have been getting, would be amazing and would help us build grassroots to get more players. Actually, this is the first time I got a silver medal. For the past 6 years, I've been having gold medals, and I'm just so sad that I wasn't able to push through to get a gold medal for the country where SEA Games is held in the Philippines. But yes, I think the continued support of the government, continued giving us with the facilities, the recoveries, and the physical therapy that we've been having would be great to build the sport further.
Thank you very much, Joey. Yes, Roy, you wanted to also answer that question. Go ahead.
Nasagot na rin nila. No? Ganon din po, tuloy lang sana ng government na magsuporta sa amin, like yung training namin abroad. Kasi sa amin sa water polo, nagkaroon kami ng struggle sa training nung time na naabutan kami ng renovation ng Rizal Memorial Swimming Pool. So, nakitrain kami sa Lasal, EYAC, Valle Verde, at saka sa PUP. So, yung swimming pool, hindi talaga para sa amin kasi mababaw siya. So, the good thing is, yung PSC, pinadala kami sa Japan for 11 days lang kami nag-training doon. So, napakalaking bagay sa amin. So, sana, ganun din by itong preparation uli by next SEA Games sa Vietnam. So, sana patuloy pa nila kaming suportahan na, o mas higit pa doon. At ganun din po sa mga young generation na paparating pa, supportahan din sana nila para magkaroon kami ng mga susunod sa amin. So, yun lang po masasabi ko. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roy. Any of our other athletes would like to answer? Cheska? Yes, go ahead.
I can only speak for softball, but more so than the government support, it's also the NSA support. So we cannot pin entirely everything on, or depend entirely on the government. We also have to depend on our NSAs to find the right funding in order for us to continue the way that we've been playing. So at least for softball, like the pressure is also on us because we've never lost the SEA Games. Like we've gotten gold in every single edition of the Southeast Asian Games that softball has been a part of, and that is also because we are supported by our NSA and the PSC. So it works hand in hand. You know, there are a lot of sports, and like softball, I know is one of the most expensive sports out there because of the equipment and the necessary items that we need to play. So I think it really all starts with your NSA. And if the NSA is working well, then the program should be good enough to sustain and to continue on to the next SEA Games.
Thank you very much, Jessica. Any more? Okay, Jake, yes.
Yeah, just to build on what Cheska says, from my perspective, I can speak on behalf of NSAs. So I was a former gold medalist and team captain for the Rugby Sevens program, and I'm now full-time with the NSA. So exactly what Cheska mentioned was the transparency in between organisations, in between athletes, coaches, and sports administrators is very important. The responsibility of an NSA is to ensure that their sport has enough sufficient support, not only from the government, because the government do play a huge role, but also private partnerships. It's a responsibility for basically sports enthusiasts to get behind your national athletes and get behind national sports, because in the end, the more support that a sport can achieve, it comes directly from the top. And it's really important that NSAs also get proper lines of communication with their athletes. So in terms of, what's going to make their program better. Everyone is on a high now because of the result, but the truth is every single NSA should be doing their review within the next 2 weeks. Because every good NSA and every good athlete will know that the next phase is just around the corner. So while everyone's on a high now, we should be sitting back saying, look, this worked well. We need to be improving here.
Got it.
And that way we can push forward and to make sure that our sport is performing at the top level.
Fantastic. So I think that was great because you were able to get a lot of different perspectives as well. Thank you, Sir Lito, for your question. May we know who would like to ask the next question? Yes, sir.
For my contemporary, Lito Cinco, sabi niya 40 years na siya. Ganun din ako. This is actually my 13th Southeast Asian Games since 1981. So I have a perspective, historical perspective of that. And sa inyo po lahat, maraming salamat at nakita po namin na 149 beses na itinaas ang bandila ng Pilipinas. That's a very hair-raising moment. 149 national anthems played in all venues. Clark, Subic, Metro Manila, Tagaytay, as far as La Union. So that's hair-raising. Ang basically lang, sinasabi nila leadership to one, leadership, government support, kasi leadership without leadership, with a clear vision and a mission, won't be able to succeed.
Correct.
And financial support, we pray that say what you may about this government administration, they have left in legacy of infrastructure that will be hard to match by succeeding administrations. Go to Rizal, go to the new Clark City, go to each and every, even in Subic, lahat yan, world-class swimming facilities, world-class athletic facilities, now world-class basketball facilities, volleyball facilities. This may never be repeated by any succeeding administration. Kaya nga, leadership, it begins at the top, and si ma'am, she has contributed a lot for the success of gymnastics out of her own pocket. Yan. Out of her own pocket, hindi lang kasi, you should, when you talk the talk, you should walk the walk also.
Yes.
You should walk the walk. You say you have a program, show me your program. The fields put up by rugby in Laguna, that was a heavy investment, privately done, without any government help. But look what it's going to do now, because Rugby Sevens, again, because of the perspective that we have, may one day be we may one day see an Olympic team from the Philippines in Rugby Sevens competing in the Olympics. Sabi nga, start from scratch eh. Pero, the question, ma'am, hindi. Then the question is for them to provide, the question is for them to each provide their own inspiration. Kanya-kanya, ma'am, yan eh. Each of them. I know the backstory, for example, ni Chicano. Dahil dati-dati, sinulat ni Sir Jun mo. Tapos nung 2015, I was there. Parang ano ka lang eh, pampalubag loob kay Nico. Siya ang tumulong, kaya magkaroon ng gintong medalya si Nico. 2015, second fiddle. And now, of course, thank you, Nico, for giving way to Jan. Kaya siya naging gold medal.
Okay.
So yeah. So can we have their backstories? Where do they
Got it.
draw their inspiration
Sir, yes.
to excel?
Got it.
Yun.
Okay.
Yun ang question natin.
Alright.
Kanya-kanyang, may mga backstories yan eh. Si Jamie may backstory din. So,
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, so Our dear athletes, our champs, the inspiration or the backstory behind your success and your drive for the country. Yes, go ahead, Jamie. Go ahead.
Hello. Okay. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yes, okay. So, when I just won yung interview ko po,
Sorry.
tayo.
Could you guys, sorry, for those answering,
Alright.
if we could stand up so that, so
Okay.
that you will be seen. There you go.
Sure.
Thank you very much, Jamie. Go ahead.
So, when I just won, and then marami po nag-interview sa akin, yung unang sinasabi ko po is SEA Games Gold, summa cum laude for mom, and SEA Games Gold for dad. My dad is a sports legend po kasi, si Skywalker, Samboy Lim. And he also played po sa SEA Games and a lot of international tournaments po sa basketball. And he won noong 1985 po, gold also. So I can't believe na I'm replicating his achievement po. So I could say na I'm like him po. And I've always wanted to be that because both my parents are my idols. So they're very, very amazing po in their fields. And they're both great people at the same time. So I just want to be that po. So that's what I tried to do for 4 years. I focused to be the best po in academics, and I think I did it. And for the past 5 months, I also focused to be the best naman in my sport, and I think I did it as well. So mission accomplished for 2019. It's for both of them, and of course for the country po, because nung nag-play din po yung national anthem, nag-start po mag-roll na naman yung tears again, and then sobrang lakas po, hindi ko po mapigilan. Because I'm very grateful na I'm given the opportunity po to represent the country. And I'm given that opportunity to do it here po in the Philippines. It's so special for me to see everyone supporting po, my family, everyone there, because it's for the country po.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Jamie. Thank you. Would anybody else from our champs like to share your backstory or your story of inspiration? Agatha, yes. Could you kindly stand up, please? Thank you very much.
Okay. So my backstory was when I was 8 years old, my grandmother happened to pass by in the Philippine Sports Commission in Manila, and she saw a sports clinic for wushu. It wasn't really sponsored by any, like kunwari, any food brand like Milo. It was just like to get kids going, and she enrolled me there. And while I was doing wushu, I was also doing a multitude of sports. I was doing karate, I was doing ballet, I was doing swimming. And when I turned 13, I decided to do wushu. The reason was that not many Filipinos know my sport. And I started to fall in love with my sport because it was very different, it was very difficult, it was very hard, and it's very beautiful. Whenever people would watch me perform, they would ask me, "Are you nervous at all?" And I always tell them, I'm a very nervous person. Sobrang kinakabahan ako. Pero when I perform, I can't risk that. I can't risk losing, myself while I perform because I'm carrying the country I'm carrying the country. I'm carrying the country's name, and I always tell people na I don't really wake up with motivation and inspiration under my roof. It's very fleeting, for me personally, that's all. I just merely rely on discipline. And it has always, we've always worked together, discipline and I. Whenever I would wake up one day, ang sakit ng katawan ko, ang sakit ng ulo ko, aayaw yung mind ko. Pero when my heart says yes, my mind also says yes. And sometimes, both your mind and heart will say no to you. Pero it's your body that will lead you to do that, sometimes sadly, robotically, to just perform every day at the top of your game. Just perform it without heart, without mind. It's okay. Kasi when that moment comes na you're standing there in front of the judges and in front of everyone, and in front of, maybe an international crowd, that's when your heart and your mind will, flip back on. And that's where your motivation and inspiration will come back to life. And that's where I am today. I won the gold for my country, and I will always devote whatever I represent for my country, for God and country.
Thank you very much, Agatha. Thank you very much. Any more? Ken, yes.
So my backstory started back in 2009. That was actually my first time playing for the Philippines in a sport, and that was with rugby with Jake, and we won the gold medal in the Asian Five Nations here in Manila. And then after that, I just knew that I wanted to play sports for the Philippines as long as I could. But then in 2015, I tore my ACL. And in rugby, that's a type of career-ending injury, similar to a basketball type of injury where you're doing a lot of jumping and running and side-to-side movement with the full-time job and everything. I couldn't get back to the athletic shape I was before the surgery. And then, as of last year, I found out about ice hockey here through one of my wife's coworkers, and another opportunity to play sports for the Philippines. And after taking almost 4 years off from sport, and it sort of defines you as an athlete, I was really earning for a opportunity to play again. So when this opportunity came up, I took it. We trained for almost a year. We were limited with, there's only one ice rink in the Philippines, so I was commuting to get there. And in limited time, we only get to skate after public skating is done. So our sessions usually are at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, so I usually get home around 1 or 2 in the morning. So it was a sacrifice, both personal and professionally, but to compete in the SEA Games and to meet new friends and create a new brotherhood with the ice hockey team, irreplaceable. So that's sort of how I come into ice hockey now.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing your story.
Hi, kanina, just to be clear lang, I think Nico Welgas did give way for John Chicano. Si John Chicano earned his spot for this SEA Games. And for inspirational for me, in 2005, I watched Coach Annie and Ate Sandra race in SEA Games. Naalala ko kasi nag-absent ako sa school just to watch their race. And then nung time na nanonood ako noon, naalala ko na super kinakabahan ako just seeing them in the starting line. And then sinabi ko sa sarili ko na I don't think I can do it, na ako yung tatayo dun sa starting line and mag-race for the country. And yung nag-finish ako, sobrang saya ko lang dahil nagawa ko siya. And noong 2005 kasi, we finished silver sa women's triathlon. And parang sobrang saya ko ngayon dahil na gawa kong gold for country in Philippines. So, yun lang.
Thank you very much, Kim. Thank you. Okay, may we ask the next question, please? Any other questions from the floor? Yes, sir. I'll go to you.
I'm Peter Atencio, Manila Standard. This is to Mr. Jake Letts. It's been my observation that rugby has gotten as ways and means of getting private support, a lot of private support and less government support. Seems to be parang, like, to me parang, in my book, rugby is a role model for that. Or, sir, can we ask, what's your plan what's the plan of rugby for the coming year, 2020? Are we looking on more private support coming your way?
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah,
Jake?
thanks for the question. First and foremost, I do want to thank the Philippine Sports Commission, the Philippine Olympic Committee, because the truth is we get a range of support. It's not just from private sponsorships. The Philippine Sports Commission has been one of our supporters ever since 2008, and as well as the Philippine Olympic Committee. So both organisations have shown an extreme amount of interest and extreme amount of support for our sport. I think in terms, to answer your question, in terms of private sponsorships, I think our NSA has done a very tremendous job in ensuring that our sustainability of the sport is definitely looked after, because the truth is we are a new sport in the Philippines. You know, our sport was originated in England. And in order to grow a sport here in the Philippines, we had to make sure that we not only tap the right people in the Philippines, but also make it locally homegrown. So not many people realize that we actually have 4 national teams. We have a homegrown national team, we have a Philippine resident national team, and then we have our top national team. And then on top of that, we have our administration team. So it's really about making sure that our legacy and our vision is to make sure that rugby is a popular sport in the Philippines, played by more and more Filipinos. But we know we're a generation away. You know, like my mother's Filipino, my father's Australian. I grew up in Australia, playing rugby. However, when I was recruited here, my role was not to play for the national team. It was to inspire the next generation, to show that, you know, rugby is a sport that can be played across the world and Filipinos can play as well. So to answer your question, the way that we tap private sponsorships is that we obviously have to create a link. You know, what are their values and what are our values? Do they match? And be able to speak to a CEO or a corporate manager and to show that, you know, your employees have the same drive as us as athletes, that's an instant connection. So you've got to be able to have a staff or administration team that can pass on that message, because if you look at all the corporate private partnerships around the Philippines, they all have the same values as sport. They're all well driven, they all have goals, they all have visions, they all have KPIs. You've got to be able to match that, and you've got to be able to show what you guys are doing in your organisation is what we're doing in ours. And to create that link, they want to be part of that journey. So, yeah, just in saying that, private sponsorships will play an important role, as well as the government. And the truth is, in sport, like all athletes know, our currency is winning and losing. You know, that's what we deal with. So there are going to be times where we are down, and there are going to be times when we're high as well. So you've got to be able to tap a partnership or a sponsor to say, hey, look, this is where we are now, this is where we want to be in the future. But there will be bumps and bruises. It's no doubt. There's no such thing as a flat road. It's going to be up and down, up and down. You just got to be able to manage that.
And that's also the beauty of sports, right? Thank you very much, Sir Peter, for your question. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have time for the last two questions for our press conference. Yes, ma'am, you may approach the mic. Kindly introduce yourself. And if it's specific to any of our athletes or speakers, kindly let us know. Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Salima Refran of GMA7. Ma'am Cynthia, ma'am, asan po si Kaloy Yulo? How is he preparing for the Olympics? And ano na po yung aasahan pa po natin from him?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your question. Carlos Yulo right now, I feel so bad because there's a lot of people that want to interview him. There's a lot of TV shows that he's invited to. But I have to refuse because right now he's only focused on the Olympics. And you know, Kaloy, he's very focused. He cannot, if you disturb him, he gets rattled. So Olympics, we have only 6 months to go, and I really want him to get a gold medal in the Olympics. That is our goal, so that the Philippines will finally have a gold medal. And he's really training up to now. As soon as he finished the SEA Games, he rushed to Tokyo and continue this training, and he'll continue training until 2020 July in Tokyo.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. We're cheering for Carlos as well. Yes, we will.
I've heard the athletes offer suggestions already. They were saying the leadership, the government support. You can't do anything about government support. It's not within your control. Okay? But from the POC side, what would the POC do to be able to build on the gains that you've made in 2020 and make sure na kung hindi man tayo manalo ng overall sa Vietnam sa 2021, at least nandun tayo sa top 3.
Yeah.
Hindi yung bababa tayo sa 5th, sa 6th. It's just, it makes you feel bad. You've seen our team reach
Correct.
this level. Then you see it go down to this level. Parang, what's wrong with us?
Absolutely right. Yeah, I feel the same like you. And being in the Philippine Olympic Committee, and that's what our leadership, Mr. Bambol Tolentino also thinks, that we as Philippine Olympic Committee who take care of the NSAs, like rugby say, the NSA leadership is very important, and to encourage them to make sure that they're following what they're supposed to do. And you know, they run to us whenever they have problems, that they're not getting support. So we try to look for like a father to support for them. Like when I was having trouble with Kaloy, I couldn't get any money from anybody. They said, gymnastics, what is that? You're not going to win anything there. So I had to ask for support. And finally, Philippine Olympic Committee gave me MVP who helped me get the money so that Kaloy can go to Europe, to Tokyo. and train there. And that's very expensive because he has to study and train at the same time. And we were able to get the money through the help of.
I'm talking of yung big picture plan for POC. For specifics, yes, that's good. We were able to get for Kalayudo. But as a group, the Philippine Olympic Committee, that's your task kasi for the
Correct, correct.
Ano yung big picture plan ninyo for Philippine sports now that ang ganda nung nangyari nitong trend?
To go forward and continue what we're doing, what we did for the SEA Games. You know, we always keep on talking about for the Southeast Asian Games. We always talk about PSC, POC. You forget about the Philippine organizing committee of the organizing committee, the PHISGOC the PHISGOC that they were the ones who really got gathered together and did all the work, all the footwork that they're supposed to do to make it a big success. And the job of the POC was to make sure that the athletes are taken care of and they are doing what they're supposed to do. And it's like a father making sure that everything's going all right. And then the government, oh, here's the money. We asked for the money. Oh, here's you what help do you know? So it is like a threesome. Without one of the others, it's not going to be successful. So the three of them have to work together very, very well, and it has been done now.
Rephrasing this question, ma'am, basically gymnastics specific. The Philippine Olympic Committee, they're composed of 46 sports and additional now.
Yes.
For what is the mission now for gymnastics with these successes that we've had in the World Championships, in the SEA Games, rhythmic gymnastics gave you also gold. What is now that's for the next 4 years or so, what is the plan for the Gymnastics Association of the Philippines to be able to sustain this awareness and promotion of gymnastics in the Philippines? What are your plans?
My plans is right now. My plans right now is because, to tell you the truth, when we were working on the gymnastics, we have 5 disciplines: mag, wag, rhythmic, but my money is just enough for one discipline, so I concentrated in Kaloy because I knew this is my treasure, and I ignored the others completely because I didn't have any money. We didn't have enough money. But now that Kaloy already is there, I'm shifting. I want rhythmic, mag to have good coaches, and now I have a lot of youth now coming in, so we're going to shift. Kaloy is already taken care of.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. We do have time for one last question. I believe the lady at the back. Yes, ma'am. Kindly introduce yourself as well.
Hi, I'm Julian May Cabrera from GMADCBB. First of all, congrats sa mga nanalo. And I would like to ask, what is your advice to your fellow Filipinos, especially the youth or the next generation, and how your advice to follow your path, and how can you encourage them, especially those na yung mga nasa masa, di nyo alam yung mga nasa masa na nanood sa inyo is sobrang proud at gustong maging kayo, gusto makasali sa sports, pero some of the sports hindi sila familiar, pero gusto nilang matutunan, pero parang sinasabi nila na it's just for the rich people. So how can you encourage them, or what is your advice?
Thank you very much, Jamie. Go ahead, Coach.
Magandang hapon po. Ako po si Daily Bangalista. Ako po ay taga-Tondo. Kaya doon sa mga kabataan po na nangangarap, especially yung sinasabi na yun na mga mahirap, isa po kami doon. Yung kwento lang namin, kami 12 years old po ako nung 1991 SEA Games. So isa po ako sa bata na nanonood sa water polo nung panahon na yon. Pero wala po kaming ticket. Nandun lang po kami sa tennis court. Sumamba kami doon, mga kaibigan ko, patong-patong kami. Palitan lang kung sino yung pwedeng makapanood. Nangarap po ako bilang atleta na sana sa susunod na Southeast Asian Games. ay makapaglaro ako or yung mga kasama ko nanonood. True enough, 2005, we won the silver. And then, 2019 po, na naging swerte po ako na isa yung dati ako nanonood, yung upuan kong pinakamahirap na upuan para manood ng Southeast Asian Games, which is yung bench ng Philippine Water Polo Team. So, doon sa mga nangangarap, hindi po mahirap, basta po determinado kayo. Sundin nyo lang kung ano yung tama, natuturo ng mga coach nyo. At sana, yung mga local government naman na nasa mga malalayong probinsya, ay sana magkaroon kayo ng programa para sa inyong mga kabataan. Magandang hapon po.
Thank you very much, Coach Dale. Actually, thank you very much, Jamie, because that was going to be my last question. So I'm actually going to be posing it to all of our speakers here today, all of our speakers. For our last message, what is your advice or a special message to all the people who are aspiring athletes, but also to the Filipino youth who are looking up to you today? Okay, so are we going... Okay, Jake, you can start. Go ahead.
Again, just on behalf of, I guess, our NSA, and I speak for all sports and all athletes, I think to have a vision for the youth, I think this 2019 Southeast Asian Games was a success. And I know each and every one of these kids are looking up to their idols. You know, they've witnessed them sing the national anthem, they've witnessed them with medals, whether they're bronze, silver or gold. The truth is the opportunity is there. And as Cynthia has said, that the venues have now been upgraded. Rizal, Phil Sports, New Clark City, the Clark Parade Grounds, all these venues have now been upgraded and they're there to be used. It's up to now the NSAs to go out and develop their grassroots systems, to offer access to their sports. And in the end, it's about inspiration. You asked the question, what are all athletes' inspiration? The truth is, for me now that I'm in my position, my inspiration is the youth, not the other way around. I like to see children play sport, and I think it's reflective in their perspective as well. So, you know, our job as a national athlete is to be a role model and for children to look up to. And I think, you know, I'd like to congratulate each and every athlete here today and each and every sport, not only in the Philippines, but around the region, because the truth is sport is a catalyst for change, and it's done an amazing job here in the Philippines, and hopefully we can push this legacy forward.
Great. Thank you very much, Jake. Nico, what would be your message to the Filipino youth?
Yes, because of the SEA Games in 2005, I was 14 that time when we hosted it. That was the time that I decided myself that I wanted to be a national athlete. That's the one that changed my life forever. And I know that it has done the same thing with how we hosted the SEA Games this year. And I know someone out there in Mindanao, kasulok na mga alis, meron doon nangarap bigla na gusto maging national athlete. And I know if they dream of it, the fact that they're gonna be moving and we're gonna be inspiring them is gonna change their lives for the better. And that's always been my goal in life, na I could be a contribution to developing the Philippines. And I think sports is the key to helping the country grow, to create better citizens for the country, to be more disciplined, to be more respectful, to be more obedient, and above all, to be more faithful to the discipline that they have committed their lives to. And I think if we focus a lot on the grassroots programs, we will create an environment filled with children that part of their conversation is exercising. It's not something they dream of doing, it's something they do every day. It's part of their lives. And with that, we create a healthy, happy Philippines. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nico. Cheska, what would be your message?
So mine will be really quick. But all of us, like all athletes, we all started somewhere. So lahat po ng mga teammates ko, yung mga tagad Coronadal, Smoky Mountain, Cordilleras, Bacolod, kinikwento nila na they started with no shoes, yung mga bola nila, softball, ginagawa lang kung ano mahanap nila na bola, or they just make something and they started somewhere. So sinasabi nila na libreng mangarap, pero don't just dream it, so do it. And I hope the youth, like seeing where all the athletes have, or how far the athletes have come, the Filipino athletes have come, hopefully they start somewhere and become the athletes, the future athletes of the Philippines.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Cheska. Coach, would you like to add anything else? Okay. All right. Roy, What would be our message, Roy?
Para sa akin po, ako po ay taga Mindanao, taga General Santos City. So, isa po ako doon sa, kaalaman po sa lahat, isa po ako doon sa mga tumatalon sa barko. So, nung bata ako, na-discover po ako ng isang commander ng Navy dati na si Sir Casillan. So, hindi ko po alam about nung sport nun dati kasi Mindanao, hindi namin alam. So, siguro sobrang thankful ako kay Lord kasi dinala niya ako sa sports. And then, diver ako dati hanggang nag-water polo. So, madali lang po kami lapitan para po doon sa mga gustong mapili man yung sports namin na water polo. You can contact us through Facebook. Mag-message lang po kayo or pumunta po kayo sa Rizal Memorial. Madali po kami lapitan. At willing po kaming tumulong sa inyo.
That's fantastic.
At yan lang po. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much, Roy. Thank you. Jamie.
Hi. Okay, I just want to share when I was young, 6 years old po, and I started karate. Yes, when I was when I was younger, but when I was 6 years old, I was very bad nung start. I kept losing. Never won a gold po until I was 9 years old. So that was 3 years of losing, and it was hard for a little girl playing karate, training all the time, always losing. And when I was a younger student then, elementary and high school, I wasn't at the top of my class ever. I wasn't someone you'd say as bright. So, nung nag-college po, nag-excel po ako, and nung SEA Games now, nag-excel na naman po ako. I just want to say na it's a lot of hard work po talaga and believing in yourself. So, I think if you have a dream, just believe na kakayanin yung dream na yun and just do the work to get there po. Kasi kahit sobrang tagal po ng process, trust it and believe na you can do it po.
I love it. We believe as one.
Yes.
Correct. All right, fantastic. Ma'am Cynthia, I'll ask you later. Let's go to Agatha. Agatha, what's our message to our Filipino youth?
My message is that, it's not gonna be easy. Nobody's going to tell you na, I don't think anybody will tell you na it's going to be difficult because, when you see someone who's down or who has their doubts, and especially in this area of expertise in sports, you're not going to hear them na parang mahirap talaga. You're going to hear them, they're gonna tell you, oh, you can do it, which is okay, pero nobody's going to really tell you na it's really gonna be difficult, it's really going to, yun nga, what Jamie said, it's going to take a lot of hard work. Pero that's, the hardest is what makes it great. I also started from nothing. Nobody knew what wushu was, and now I think most Filipinos know now what wushu is because I was the representative for wushu. So yung message ko lang sa youth is yun nga, when you have a dream, you can't really depend on that dream alone. You also have to do it with your mind, body, heart. Always play with your heart, always play with your mind, always take care of your body, and always take care of your mental health because mental health, it's really important, especially for athletes. Right. When you have a good mentality, your body will follow and your heart will follow as well. So, yun lang. If there are any younger generations that want to try wushu, come and join me and my teammates, and we're always happy and welcome to teach you.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much.
My message to the youth or people who want to get into the sports here is to probably find a mentor and to surround yourself with people that'll push you. So I suppose that's a challenge mostly actually to the athletes here and also the athletes, all the Philippine national athletes, to become a mentor and to help the youth and help them follow in your footsteps. Sometimes we get so focused on our own training and our own personal development that we forgot to give back. So it's an outreach to everyone to give back now that we've been supported and that we have the opportunity to inspire some other people. And there's plenty of outlets to do it for the youth out there. We have ice hockey programs daily. With rugby, I know I can only speak on behalf of those two sports, but I know there's youth programs. So put yourself in a situation where you're surrounded by people who want to help and find a mentor that'll help.
That's great. Thank you so much. Next up, yes, go ahead, Kim.
Hi, like ngayon, sobrang advantage na ng generation natin. So, sobrang daling makipag-communicate. Like, you can reach our coach para sa, kung gusto nyo mag-start mag-triathlon. So, yun lang. Ang sabihin ko lang, to be an athlete, kailangan ng determination and hard work. And you should love what you do. Yun lang.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Kim. John.
Masasabi ko po siguro doon sa mga kabataan na gusto mag-sports. Kagaya ko, back in 2009, wala naman akong pera para magsimula sa sports. nag-isip na lang ako ng paraan kung paano ko matutuloy yung sports na gusto ko ah, para matupad yung mga pangarap ko. So, noong 2009, doon maaga ako nagkapamilya. So, nagkaanak ako. So, hindi yun naging hadlang para sa akin para ituloy ko yung sports na gusto ko. Nag-igi pa ako, pumasok ako sa isang bike shop, ganun. Nag-janitor ako, nag-mekaniko ako. At after 10 years, yun, nandito ako sa harap nyo. So, iniinganyo ko yung mga kabataan na sana sa mga susunod na grassroots program ng coach ko, nandun ako, sinasamahan ko siya. Pumunta kayo sa amin na baka matulungan namin kayo. Yan ako.
Great. Thank you very much, John. Christopher.
For me, it always boils to sacrifice, determination. And my message for the youth is, if you want it, claim it, stay healthy, and avoid all the other stuff. You know, that won't help you anyway. For us in the underwater hockey, we're now trying to create a program with the rest of the athletes who had competed for the SEA Games, that we are opening our doors for the development of grassroots, and as well as to provide more training, which we always get from playing from other countries as well. Like for us, we play for Australia. So whatever we get from our training outside the country, we share it with everyone else for the benefit of the Filipino players, athletes, and future athletes as well.
That's great. Thank you very much. Joey.
My message for the youth is that nothing is impossible. 10 years ago, I couldn't swim. And who knew 10 years later, I am speeding in fins underwater, holding my breath under 9 feet of water. So nothing is impossible if you have determination for it, if you work hard for the training for it. So, basta gusto mo, kakayanin mo.
That's awesome.
I think eventually the youth have to just have the focus and the heart to do what they want to do. For underwater hockey, like Top said, we are doing grassroots. We started grassroots in Palawan for the kids to learn to swim, to do underwater hockey, and now our future is looking forward to teaching the universities and having a league for them.
Great.
So there.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing that as well. Last but not the least, Samuel.
Hi everyone. Sa message ko sa mga youth is, just believe yourself lang lagi and focus din sa ginagawa. And di lang sa youth yung message is para din sa mga parents. Sabi nga nung sports director namin sa Olongo po na yun sa mga parents na supportahan lagi yung mga anak nila.
That's great.
Para sa kung ano yung pangarap, huwag hadlangan. Supportahan lang lagi. Ano po.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much. And Miss Cynthia, if you'd like to also share your message to the Filipino youth, you've seen it all, of course.
Stand up?
If you would like to, ma'am, yes, go ahead. Our message to the Filipino youth.
First of all, I wanted to ask them, all their athletes, are they coming from the poor or from the elite, rich? No, all of you. Are you from the poor, no? The athletes are mostly the poor, right? See? Yeah, because as an NSA president, I have a harder time with the rich. The poor is very easy to handle, and they really want to fight and really achieve something. But the rich, if I do it, I do it, but something like, I don't know, and you have to really encourage them. So now, my message is to all of you. First of all, I'm so proud of you. I wish I was NSA for all of you. Anyway, and as a Philippine Olympic Committee board member, you can come to me anytime. We will see what we can do for you. Like I helped ice hockey a lot when I was, anyway. And I want to thank the three leaders, especially Speaker Alan Cayetano. People are not realizing that he has done a lot for the SEA Games, so we need to thank him very, very much. And he's the one that's really getting a lot of bad press in the newspaper, which I feel so bad for him, And I also want to thank the President Tolentino for giving its all. In fact, when we did not have any more money for my how do you call it, equipment, and we were not going to have gymnastics unless we came up with some money. He came up with his own money and advanced the money. These are the things, the coordination of the people, you know, and of course Philippine Sports Commission, who's been helping us financially a lot.
Fantastic.
So thank you very much for this Philippine SEA Games 2019.
Fantastic.
Mabuhay!
Mabuhay. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being a part of this Champion Summit. To our dear champs, to everybody who volunteered and really went into the programs also for the grassroots, thank you very much. We also actually have, ladies and gentlemen, in the room, other athletes. Can we please give them a warm round of applause? Teammates also that represented the SEA Games. To our organizers, partners, stakeholders, and supporters, our volunteers, mabuhay po tayong lahat. We have come to the close of our Champion Summit. We will, don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we will have a group family photo for our friends from the media. If I may just ask all of our athletes and Miss Cynthia to kindly stand up, and we will have a photo. We probably will have to squeeze in, do a group hug a little bit, so that we can all fit. Yeah, okay, go ahead. To our dear athletes. Okay, let's squeeze in. There you go. Okay, there. Are we good? Yes? Okay. Thank you very much, Nico. There you go. Okay. Okay, one more. We win as one, ladies and gents. Yes? We win as one? All right.
I feel like an athlete now.
We win as one. Yes, mabuhay ang lahat ng nagwagi. Thank you very much, everyone.
Wait,
Oh, we
for
win
what
as one.
channel? What channel?
Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Awesome. Fantastic. Let's give everybody a warm round of applause. Maraming salamat po. Congratulations to everyone. We are all winners here, and we win as one. Guys, thank you very much. It was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you.